Good afternoon. Welcome to the webinar. Our presentation today is on 6 ways advanced compression causes Oracle audit failures. My name is Sean Donohue, and I'm the VP of Marketing at Miro Consulting. Joining me is Dr. Bill Buttigieg, Senior Analyst at Miro Consulting, as well as Wayne Federico, VP of Technical Services and COO. A little bit about us here at Miro Consulting. We specialize in software license audit defense, license management, subscription management, and cloud services for Oracle, IBM, Microsoft, and Adobe. We help optimize, customize, and simplify your software license agreements and support contracts, as well as provide expert audit defense and contract negotiations. If you're thinking about moving some assets to the cloud or trying to determine what's the best cloud strategy for your team, or just looking to save the most money on your cloud purchases, contact us here at Miro before you talk to your vendor sales rep. We'll make sure you get the best deal. Now, if you have any questions during the broadcast, please use the question box in your webinar control panel, and we'll answer them at the end of the session. Now, to begin today's event, Bill, please start us off.
Hi, Wayne. Thank you, and thank you, everyone, for joining. Today, as Sean mentioned, we're going to discuss some of the triggers with advanced compression. So, what is advanced compression? Oracle Advanced Compression, it is a licensable option that provides the ability to compress all types of data, backups, network traffic to reduce storage consumption and improve performance. Unfortunately, many of our clients are surprised to learn that they have advanced compression usage and are therefore out of compliance and fail an audit. So the reason for the webinar today is to go through 6 advanced compression options and highlight what triggers advanced compression and how to avoid unintentional use. And the 6 triggers are actually advanced compression options that we're going to review today are data pump, recovery manager, data guard redo transport, secure files, online transaction processing table compression, and Flashback data archive. So, data pump. So just a little background, data pump was introduced in Oracle 10G, and it's a faster, more flexible alternative to the traditional export and import utilities that came with the database at the time. One of the capabilities of data pump is the ability to compress metadata and table data. And Oracle provides 4 different types of compression options that you can use when you're using data pump. And you can either use compression equal data only, metadata only, all, or none. So if you use metadata only, which is actually the default option, that does not require an advanced compression license. However, if you used compress all or compress data only, that does require the advanced compression option. The thing with data pump is that it comes with the database, and therefore it's either an all or nothing as far as how easy it is for someone to utilize one of those 2 compression options that will automatically put you into the audit compression licensing. So you want to be aware when you choose, especially if you use a parameter file, you want to make sure it's either compression equal none or you don't specify a compression option so that it doesn't fall into all or data only. So the next advanced compression option we would like to talk about is Recovery Manager, which is RMAN. And that basically, Oracle provides the opportunity or the ability to back up and recover the database. And one of the capabilities of RMAN is the ability to compress backups before it's written to tape or disk to reduce the size of the backup file. And Oracle offers a number of compression algorithms depending on what version of Oracle database that you're running. And obviously each compression algorithm provides a trade-off in regard to CPU efficiency and backup size. So you want to take that into consideration before you make your choice. So what we're going to do is we're going to review the easiest way to do this is start from 10G and work our way up to 12C. because what Oracle did is they introduced a number of options, and they've also changed a few names and deprecated a few other names. So in 10G, it was very, very simple. They only offered one single compression algorithm, and that was called bzip2. If you use the bzip2 option, that does not require the advanced compression license. In 11G R1, Oracle introduced the zlib compression algorithm. And so if you use bzip2, just as you would have in 10G, that does not require the license. But if you utilize the zlib, it does require the advanced compression license. So in 11G R2, Oracle decided to change the names and simplify it, and came up with 4 new algorithm compression options, which are basic, low, medium, and high. At the time of 11G R2, you could still use bzip2 and zlib. And again, bzip2 did not require the license, and zlib does. But in 12C, what they ended up doing was deprecating those 2 options. And basically what you have is basic, low, medium, and high. And basic is the default option, and that does not require the advanced compression license. And that applies to 11G, R2, and 12C. And if you use low, medium, or high, it does require the advanced license, and that applies to 11G, R2, and 12C. And that'll actually, for those of you who may have upgraded or thinking of upgrading it, the same applies to 12C, R1, and R2. So the third advanced compression option that we want to talk about is data guard redo transport. This was introduced in 11G R1, and it provides the ability to transfer redo data from a database destination to 30 different destinations. And that could be any different types of data destinations that include logical and physical standby databases, archived redo repositories, Oracle change data capture staging databases, Oracle streams downstream capture databases. So one of the capabilities of data guard redo transport services is the ability to transmit this redo data in a compressed format in order to reduce your bandwidth consumption. So what's really simple here is that if you utilize the compression option, it does require the advanced compression license. So this one's very straightforward. And you can either turn that on, basically there's a parameter that says enabled or disabled, so you want to make sure that it's disabled, otherwise you'll fall, and otherwise you will get advanced compression usage. The fourth option that we're going to talk about is secure files. And secure files was introduced in 11G R1, and it's basically an enhanced version of basic file lob storage architecture. Secure files provides the ability to improve performance, reduce storage, enhance security of unstructured data in large object data types. And secure file lobs has several advanced features that basic files does not have, and which are the ability to compress, deduplication, and encryption. Typically, most clients utilize all 3. And if you do, what Oracle ends up doing is first it compresses, and then it checks for dupes, and then it encrypts the data. So with secure file compression, that provides the ability to compress data to save disk. And Oracle offered 3 different algorithms. Again, depending on the version of the database that you're on, there's different options there. So in 11G R1, Oracle introduced the medium and high compression algorithms, with medium being the default parameter. And 11G R2, Oracle introduced the low compression algorithm. And what they did in 11 and 12C is they retained all 3. So in 12C, you have low, medium, and high. and medium is, again, the default parameter. If you utilize any one of these three parameters, it does require the advanced compression license. As I mentioned earlier, the deduplication, basically what it does is Oracle detects any duplicate lobs in the database, and what it'll do is it'll only store one copy of that to save space. And again, if you utilize this option, it does require you to get an advanced compression license. With encryption is, although you don't need the advanced compression license, you do require the advanced security license. So you want to watch out for that, that if you were to get advanced compression for compression and duplication and you want to utilize the encryption, you want to make sure that you also get an advanced security license for that. The fifth advanced compression option we're going to talk about is online transaction table compression. Oracle actually changed the name to this. It's also referred to as advanced row compression. And that was introduced in 11GR1, and that allows data to be compressed during all types of data manipulation operations. Oracle provides the following compression clauses. So you have the option, and you know, what's confusing here is that they changed the names around, and we're going to address that right now. So obviously, if you say no compress, which is the default option, there's no compression enabled. So basically, compression is disabled. If you use the compress or compress for direct load operations, essentially either option does the same exact thing, and that's enabled for direct path insert only. And this option is more suitable for data warehousing environments. If you use the compress for all operations, that basically enables compression for all operations, and it's suited for both data warehousing and online transaction processing environments. But what Oracle did was in 12c, they actually renamed compress all operations to compress for OTLP. And they also deprecated the original name. So compress for all operations doesn't exist anymore in 12c. So just as a recap, if you use compress and compress for direct load operations, that really refers to basic table compression, and that does not require an advanced license. If you use the compress for all operations, that refers to the online transaction processing table compression, and that does require the license. So you want to be aware of what option you use. The sixth and final one is Flashback Data Archive. And this used to be formerly called Total Recall. And that was introduced in 11GR1. And that provides the ability to reference older versions of the data in the database or return older versions of data in the database to a previous state without the point-in-time media recovery. So prior to 11GR2, Flashback Data Archive utilized the compression features and therefore required the advanced compression license. However, in 11GR2, and to be more specific, starting with 11.204, Oracle introduced the following two optimization clauses. And you either have no optimized data or optimized data. So no optimized data is the default value, and basically that disables optimization for Flashback archive history and does not require the advanced compression license. If you do use optimized data, obviously that will turn on optimization, and that does require the advanced compression license. So that's actually all we have for today. We wanted to highlight all the possibilities for 6 of the advanced compression options. Oracle actually offers quite a number, about 13, 14 different options under advanced compression. But these were the ones that came up the most with our clients either having difficulty or calling us for questions and to help. So hopefully this helped simplify and highlight some of the options that advanced compression may trigger.
Thanks, Bill. We have one question from the audience, and let me remind our audience that if you have any questions, please write them into the question box and we will address them. So our first question from the audience is, how are Oracle licenses certified if moving from a ULA in a data center to Amazon Web Services? For that question, we're going to have Wayne Federico, again, our COO here at Miro. He can answer that question. Wayne?
Great, thanks, Sean. Essentially, as of about 3 years ago, Oracle started to include additional language in the ULAs that essentially stated at time of certification, you're allowed during the term of the ULA to use licenses within an AWS environment, cloud environment, but at the end of that term, when you go to certify, you will not be given licenses to cover that environment. That was something, like I said, there wasn't a very specific date when they started to add this to the ULA's contracts, but it was roughly about 2 to 3 years ago, because we're only starting to see clients look for assistance in these certifications to basically handle what's happening now. So we're only seeing the impact of that, but we've been seeing that language for about 2 to 3 years. So it really depends on what's in your contract. Ones older than that allowed you to get licenses for things that were applied against the cloud at the time of certification. So it really does depend on your contract, but that's how it works. And there are ways when you're signing up new ULAs, there is some range of customization that can be done to that language on a case-by-case basis. So.
All right, thanks, Wayne. We got our next question from the audience. Is there a parameter or option to turn off AC, advanced compression, in the database so it can't be used accidentally like with the data pump?
Well, with data pump, it's really all or nothing, and that really you need to, if you wanted to disable it from, that's the drawback, is that either everyone or no one can have it, and you basically do that through a Unix environment variable and kind of disable data pump from your path. Otherwise, there's no other way to stop data pump. So that's the disadvantage of data pump.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to you really don't want to disable it from everybody, because then nobody can utilize the tool.
What I would suggest is go ahead, Wayne.
No, and when Oracle has respond to that question themselves, they tend to just tell clients that you just have to make it a part of policy, that any of your people have to be aware of it so that if they go to use it. And granted, this can be very difficult in environments where you outsource a lot of your dev test, and making sure everybody knows the policy can be a challenge.
Let me stress, if that is a concern of yours, please contact us. We do have strategies that can help you with that. It's a little too detailed for this webinar. So again, if that's a concern of yours, please contact us, and we will help you understand what your concerns should be and how to address them.
Yeah, the other thing we can help with is to help you figure out how to show what usage you have, so you can monitor the usage after you implement that policy.
All right, great. Let's go to our next question. We have an application that uses Secure File LODS. We have done a manual reorganization after the load. Would that cause an issue with the advanced LOB compression?
Well, it really shouldn't unless you're using the compression option. As long as you don't use the compression option, it would not trigger advanced compression usage. So one thing to keep in mind is that, like in 11G, the default lob would defer to basic, but in 12C, it automatically defaults to secure file. But again, if you don't specify the compression clause, then it should not trigger any usage.
All right, great. If that's all the questions we have from the audience, thank you for participating in our webinar. If you would like more information or a copy of the slides or some advanced triggers, please contact us at info@miroconsulting.com or call us at 732-738-8511. Again, thank you for joining us. This concludes the webinar. Have a nice day.